The name of this seminar is basically staying feminine, sexy, and connected to your womanhood no matter what. I think that's the title, maybe a little bit off here. But basically, it's about how does a woman remain connected to her feminine qualities while working, going to school, raising children, or performing other task-oriented roles. Are there ways that she can tap into her true essence while also being productive and assertive in the world? So this is what this video seminar is about here. This is really about creating balance and a deeper understanding for yourself, a deeper understanding of kind of what it's like to be feminine and how it is to feel in your body, whether or not there is rigidity stuck in your body, if there's some type of flow. And I think a really good way to kind of break this down is just a couple questions. So what I'm going to do is just invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes and I'm going to read this out to you. This is a better way to kind of understand where I'm coming from. So hopefully your eyes are closed. I want you just to imagine being a child. Imagine being a child, being playful, feeling happy, and not feeling so responsible for things. The only thing that you're connected to is more the flow of life. Maybe in this moment you're connected to playing with another child. Maybe it's a memory of seeing your father and he's pushing you on the swings. Maybe it's actually being on the beach and listening to the waves and connecting to the ocean. But what I want you to do is just really connect to that innocence in your life, that innocence that you once maybe embodied, that now as being an adult you feel as though you've lost some of that. So really connect to that innocence in your body, feel that in your body, and just breathe in your body, just connecting to that joy and that effortlessness. And as you stay connected to that joy and that flow, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. How comfortable are you asking for help? Do you like things to be more structured and organized in your life? Do you prefer to have more spontaneity in your life? Is your career more important or being in love? How comfortable are you in your body? Do you invest more time into looking good versus feeling good? At the end of the day, what is more important? Feeling accomplished or fulfilled? So I want you to ponder those questions for a moment. And the reason why I want you to connect to that childlike state is because when I talk about being feminine, when I talk about being connected to your flow, I'm talking about that innocence that's more in touch with nature, that's more in touch with life itself. I'm talking about that part of you that is sensual with or without a man, that part of yourself that's sensual when you're possibly eating certain foods, that part of you that's sensual when you're with your girlfriends, that part of you that's sensual when you're basically just taking a deep breath in and you know all is good. So that is what we're talking about here. And for so many of us, when we end up working, we get married, we have children, we lose that aspect of ourselves. And so one way to really connect to that innocence, that part of yourself that's more connected to life and the flow and that innocence, is connecting back to that childlike state. If you think about it, if you observe children, when you see them play, they're not so concerned about time. When you see little girls play, they're about sharing. They're about experiencing things. They don't care about anything else but the moment, being in that flow. But as women get older and as they have children and as they have to make money and do things in this very structured and organized world, they start putting themselves on this time schedule. And they start feeling as though that they're running out of time. So being able to connect to your femininity is being able to disconnect from that for a moment. I mean, I know that all of you have probably some type of responsibilities, but it's being able to create rituals so where you can connect to that flow and that ease in your life so you feel happier, so you're able to have more loving conversations with your partner, so you can feel more connected to life itself. So back to talking about the women's minds and how they learn how to connect to the world. If you notice little girls, the way that they learn how to connect to themselves is by connecting to the world. It's by connecting to their parents, their first caregivers. If you notice with little girls, they are studying at a very early age the facial gestures of their parents by the way that they're moving, the way that they're breathing. And so the way that they learn how to know that the world is okay is by certain facial gestures, by the way the father or mother are gazing at this child in the eyes. Whereas you see with boys, they're more independent. They'll go off and play with their toys. They don't often look parents in the eyes. They'll look away. They get restless. So with that being said, it is so important for women to have a greater sense of themselves that is not contingent on the outside world, if that makes sense. In other words, it's one thing to be a little girl and hopefully you have this consistent caregiver who is looking at you with love. But imagine being a woman and maybe you're aging, maybe you don't like the way that you look anymore, whatever the reason is, but you're still looking outside of yourself to feel good about yourself, to bring you to that perfect homeostasis. And it changes as we get older. It changes as we start seeing things the way that maybe women are supposed to look like, according to the media. There's so many things that women are exposed to, and it can change the way that they feel about themselves. It can change their biology. So important for women to realize that you are social creatures. The way that you internalize your feelings and how you feel very much is contingent on outside things, what you wear, the flow of life. So if you know that, the question is, how can you create ritual to connect yourself to that regardless of what's going on around you? Very important. How can you connect to ritual and love and flow in your life? Just say if you're in an argument with your husband, or that you're financially stressed, or that just things in life are a little more challenging. Because women in general are very emotional. Very emotional. So most things, regardless of what type of transaction it is, there's emotions put into that. And that's going to alter women's moods. So important. So part of this video seminar is to really validate women and where they're coming from and how they're feeling, and being able to find tools and ways to shift that in their bodies so they can feel more in control of their lives. I mean, because when it comes down to it, let's talk about this. Women out there, and I wish I could actually talk. This is again, this is the first time doing this. I actually can see myself on a screen here, but I'm not talking to someone who's giving back any type of feedback. This alone, this experience right now is a little bit disconcerting. So imagine you being a woman and you're having dinner with your mate or a new date, and he's text messaging, or he has a blank face. He's not giving any feedback. For the most part, women start internalizing that. Again, without you knowing it, that your unconscious mind is still kind of looking at different cues and different things he's saying to kind of give yourself feedback. And just imagine if you're always trying to get feedback from someone who, whatever's going on, might have nothing to do with you, you're going to lose yourself. So often women say, when I'm in relationships, I lose myself. You're absolutely correct. You probably do, because you probably allow your emotional body to take over. So here's the thing, here's an exercise I like to do, and then again, if you have any questions for me, feel free and I will see them come through here, and I appreciate that. So what I'd like you to do for a moment here is just, I want you to rub your hands like this. Hopefully you can hear this and you can do this. Hopefully you're not driving. I wouldn't imagine someone's watching this while driving. If you slowly pull your hands apart, you can feel this vibration. You can feel like electricity. I'm going to do it one more time. Just rub your hands apart. Together. And then slowly pull your hands apart. And you'll feel kind of like a magnetic bubble. Hopefully some of you are actually feeling this. So this flow that I feel between my hands is also energy or chi that is going on inside of my body. So if I am a electrical magnetic being, and that, say I am kind of in more business mode, I'm taking care of children, or I'm having an argument with my husband, what is happening to my energy? What is happening to this flow in my body? Such an important question to ask. So part of connecting to this flow is creating rituals so where you still feel this in your body. It's so important too is that oftentimes when there's maybe a lack of communication in a relationship, or maybe that for some reason you don't feel safe making love to your partner, that's also cutting you off from that flow in your body. In other words, more than often, women connect their sexuality with actually being with a partner. But your sexuality, what you feel in your body, that flow, has very little to do with that. It has to do with an invitation in your own body. In other words, the amygdala in both men and women, but let's talk about women. It's about the size of an almond. Basically, the amygdala, whatever word, it's a mouthful. It is the part of your brain where it is given appraisal to things. It's given value to things. It's also that mechanism to tell you that something is threatening and non-threatening. And something as easy as, or simple as, a man having bad odor, like his mouth, he smells bad, can throw you off to where all of a sudden you just shut down, you don't want to make love to this person. Plus maybe it's gross, but I'm just saying simple things. It could be where you're with a man or your partner and then you receive a text message, you're on a date, and it's your babysitter, and your first association to your babysitter is that something must be going wrong. Boom, it starts shutting that. Once again, you're in hyper arousal mode, and it doesn't allow you to relax in your body. So women out there who are working, women who are mothers, women who have a lot on their plates, imagine that not being deactivated, always in hyper arousal mode, always kind of trying to check out your environment to see whether or not you feel safe. How do you turn that off? Well, a glass of wine can help. That is why oftentimes women, in order for them to relax into maybe having sex with someone, they have to have a glass of wine. Even taking a warm bath can actually be a great ritual to relax yourself, or even a massage. Or there's so many other ways to do that. But imagine this. Imagine you being connected to that flow with or without a partner. How about you creating ritual? It could be just moving. You can listen to music. You can listen to something that makes your heart open up and sing to where you feel relaxed. And you trust life itself. How many women out there are actually, saying that they don't trust men? Well, you probably have a lot of good reasons not to trust men, but is that trust serving you? Is that trust making you feel good in your body? Is that trust allowing you to relax and let go and be fully present in your life, for your children, for your lover, and so on? Just a very important question to ask yourself. So part of connecting to your femininity is not about, I'm going to completely just surrender and I'm going to be swept up, I'm going to lose myself. That it's connecting to femininity in such a way where there's strength. There's strength. There's so much strength in just feminine energy. It's so powerful. Think about birth, giving birth, how powerful it is. Just giving. Women have the ability to do so much and have so much strength to endure a lot of pain. So a woman connected to that and that flow in her life and this chi that I was talking about, you have the ability to stay feeling, looking young. You have the ability to change the way that you feel, and it definitely alters your moods, which is so important. If you're just to be petted or touched like this for even, say, just 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you actually might feel a release of oxytocin where you start feeling good. You start feeling bonded to this person. This might not be your lover. This can actually be another girlfriend. That's how sensitive your body is. That's how sensitive in general we all are, but especially women, which is why I'm holding this video seminar, so you can just become more aware of like touch. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have you for a moment close your eyes again. Let me lower myself here. And I want you to put your right hand over your heart, your right hand over your heart. And close your eyes. I want you to ask yourself this question. Who am I beyond these circumstances? Who am I beyond my children? Who am I beyond my husband? Who am I beyond all these things that I would like to do? Who am I beyond my historical self, meaning like past trauma? Who am I beyond what our culture has defined as being feminine? Who am I? And just really hear those questions and really hear whether or not you feel comfortable with that. If you've actually have asked yourself those questions lately or ever at all. And in that question, are you connected to the flow? Are you connected to happiness? Are you connected to love? Do you feel happy right now? Now, I know you can open your eyes now if your eyes are still closed. I know that some of you might be going through something. But what I want to invite you to do is take a deep breath in and feel that go into your heart. Feel it expanding your heart. And as it opens up your heart, like I did earlier in this video seminar, where in my life am I playful? Where in my life am I not in problem-solving mode? Where in my life am I just completely allow myself to flow and be? Where in my life am I feel passion? Where in my life am I painting or dancing? Where in my life do I feel free? More than often when I work with women who are looking for a man, one of the most common things they usually say is, I feel unsafe. I feel unsafe. I don't feel like I can relax. I feel like I cannot trust him. And you could have good reasons to feel that, but there are also good reasons to feel good regardless of what is happening with your man, whether you're with a lover or not. But just imagine that experience where your trust, or you feel as though that the only place that you can anchor yourself is in a relationship or with a man. Just imagine being able to wake up and just take a deep breath in and possibly maybe look in a mirror and just look at yourself naked, both figuratively and literally speaking, and just bringing love all the way down to your body, all the way down to your heart, all the way down to your belly, and letting that relax and go, all the way down to your pelvic region. And just breathe in. And what I've noticed with women, it's men's also, but it's a different type of energy, but with women, once you start letting the breath flow and open up, you'll start feeling move down your body. You might feel the energy moving down the front, and as you exhale, it comes up over your head. You might experience this I think it's called microcosmic orbit, just where the energy starts spinning around. And sometimes women actually maybe feel aroused. Some women also maybe feel more connected to God. Maybe they feel both at the same time. But that is a sign you're starting to open yourself up. That's a sign letting you know that you're connected to more of who you are. And you'll feel that in your body. And it's not contingent on the outside world or what you've accomplished. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will be doing these type of workshops, these video live workshops every couple weeks. And I wish you all the best, and stay in touch. Thank you so much. Namaste.